It is 10:30. That means it's time for Celebrity Dish. You know, Stephen, we were just talking about the Met Gala, what happened on the red carpet. Clearly.
Oh, look at him.
He should have been there, the media prince.
Do you want to just tell us what you're wearing today? Let's do the red carpet for a second.
Just a nice velvet silk fashion over men, and I just decided to drape it in some roses just to fit the Met Gala. So Anna Wintour, our beef can end now. I'll be there next year.
Oh, you didn't text her back?
I didn't text
why
her
she's
back quick
mad?
enough, so I couldn't make it last night. So I said, I'll just save it for Fox 5.
She did say that on the red carpet. She said, you know what, the media prince, he owes me a text message.
All right. You look good, smell good, everything's
you.
good. So thank you for joining us here. Let's jump right in because some are calling it the greatest roast of all time. But according to his ex-wife, things went a little bit too far. Right, Chris?
That's true. But first, major Usher vibes right now from the media prince. I don't know if you guys saw him last night on the red carpet, but I sense a little homage right there, as you can see with the hat and everything. All right, let's talk about that roast now, because we mentioned it yesterday. Tom Brady, the subject of a lot of jokes at his expense, but his ex-wife ended up catching a lot of heat in the process. And now apparently she is speaking out, and she is not thrilled about it. Gisele Bündchen said she has been left deeply disappointed by the jokes made about her ill-fated marriage to Tom Brady. The Brazilian model who divorced the 7-time Super Bowl champ back in 2022 found herself on the receiving end of several jokes during the ex-quarterback's Netflix roast on Sunday, including one by Kevin Hart. And apparently she did not like that. Sources close to the model say her priority is to support her children who were affected by the irresponsible content that was broadcast. And I admit, I watched it. I watched the first hour of it, and the first thing I thought of was, even though Tom Brady was happy to make himself the subject of all of the jokes, I don't know that she agreed to it as well, and she ended up catching a lot of heat, like I said.
Yeah, she caught some strays in the process.
I think I understand exactly where she's coming from, because it's not her roast. But we already know when it comes to roasting, they hit key factors. Your children, your kids, your wife, your spouse.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's off the table. So, of course, in nature of the roast, you were going to be put into it. I think she needs to just put her joke hat on and know that nothing was really malicious. I totally understand in the marriage scope of things didn't probably end in a great note, but this is a roast, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Laugh a little. It's good times. It was all good vibes, and let's keep the vibes good.
Yeah, and it's real life, you know, what they're dealing with. But to your point, that's comedy, and that's the nature of it. And it's something that even comedians are still struggling with today in the age of cancel culture and this, that, and the third. It's like, what can I say? What can I make fun of without, you know, getting in trouble for it? So I thought it was all good fun.
I did too.
If she felt that way, that's her business.
That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't her problem. It was all about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
This was his moment. The jokes were geared to him. He laughed. He had a good time. Trust me, if he felt offended by anything, he would have rectified that on her behalf, whether we saw it or not. So it was all in good fun. So just, you know, chillax a little bit. It was fun.
And if she hadn't said anything, I would have forgotten about it, to be honest. She brought more light to it.
She did, way more light to it.
But speaking of, I guess, would you call a roast a diss track?
No, now wait a second. Now wait a second. We gotta put some respect on the disrespect track, all right?
You gotta put some respect on Kendrick Lamar and Drake. That's what I'm trying to get at, Chris.
Well, listen, we know Drake can be very, very petty, and he continues to prove it. So the saga continues. Like we mentioned, Drake has now credited himself with bringing Kendrick Lamar back into the game. In his latest diss track, this one dropped Sunday night. It's called I'm Happy I Can Motivate You. The track came out Sunday, like I mentioned, and Drake called out Kendrick for lying and then took credit that he inspired the artist to return to the rap scene. And remember, one of the big things was always that Kendrick takes a little too long in between albums.
Well, you know, look, the Teddy Pendergrass Greatest Inspiration, that was the original track that Kendrick used as a sample to kind of back that. So I can see why he may have tried to make that connection. But listen, Drake, Drizzy, brother, we love you. But listen, this was not about you. It was about you, but it was not about you in that way.
This whole weekend was about them.
As
a hip-hop fan, I was so happy to finally throw the trash music away to the side for a moment. Hip hop won this weekend.
I agree.
Drake and Kendrick.
It did.
I refreshed my timeline, a new song. I was like, oh, I can get used to this, okay? I can sum it up like this. This battle made Drake good again, and this battle made Kendrick consistent again. So far as us, we got really good music. All in all, they really gave us a joint album this weekend.
Well, and not only that, to your point, I do think Drake had to prove why he's great.
Exactly.
And why he's Drake, you know, and I think it's not enough now to have the numbers. It's like, okay, what can you do bar for bar? And that's where people said he came short. But at the same time, it was good to see them battle. And we know that battles are at the heart of hip hop and has been for decades now.
The heart of it. I think that's what hip hop is actually based off on. We love the battle rap of it all. And when it's all said and done, we got really good music out of it. No one wanted to let the bar go down. It was either go for it or be quiet. And clearly, they were not quiet.
I think Drake needs to be quiet right about now. He needs to sit down and eat his food, from what I heard over the weekend.
Right, but to the point that you're making, Chris, about this being, you know, giving Kendrick hope, I think it actually did the complete opposite. I think Kendrick, in many ways, he talked about this in 2013, is how he wants to elevate rap. He wants everybody to come up to his standard and his level, and he hasn't seen that often. So I don't think it's about him inspiring. I think it's the other way around.
I agree.
Yeah.
That I do agree.
Well, y'all well
no
done,
argument
Kendrick.
there, yeah.
I've been jamming, not like us, too many times. Like, it's so disrespectful that this many times I've rotated YouTube at this point that now I feel like I'm a part of this song.
Metro Boomin's new track is also a vibe as well. I can't say it on air.
Is that the Drizzy?
BBL Drizzy.
Drizzy?
BBL Drizzy, yeah.
So we are each other's
Drizzy,
people because I had that song on repeat this weekend for Cinco de Mayo.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Go online if you hadn't heard it.
You don't even need any song. You don't
yes.
need any lyrics. Just listen to the instrumental.
That's it. And you may want to rap over it yourself and create a diss track because it's so good.
Not me personally. However, but we do want to move on, guys. We have one more story we want to get to because we want to talk about Bridgerton Season 3. It's almost here, and star Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton sat down with extras, Mona Kosar, Abdi, to talk all about the new season and talk about those steamy scenes. This time around, the show focuses on characters Penelope and Colin. Luke and Nicola talked about their characters' romance, the shifting dynamics, and like I said, navigating those properly hot love scenes. Take a listen.
And you leave those days feeling great because you felt like I did what I wanted to do and I've served the story and I've served these characters, and watching it back was really emotional. I was nervous because, you know, some of the scenes are very literally and literally and metaphorically exposing, but I watched them and went, I feel amazing. They're so romantic. They're so sweet. They're so sexy. Like, they're properly like hot, and then they're funny, and you're like, oh, okay.
I remember when we got to watch them back, I wanted to skip to those moments just to like check that they were okay, but actually I was like, no, I need to like absorb the whole moment.
Yeah,
like,
they live in context.
They're really playing up the sex scenes this time around because, Marissa, there were a lot of complaints that after Season 1, that's what was missing in Season 2. You can find out for yourself when it premieres May 16th on Netflix.
I led the Change.org petition to bring Reggae Jean Page back.
Did you?
Yes, I did. They need him.
They do.
I mean, he brought the spice and the romance, but I do love the young woman who plays Lady Whistledown. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I'm here for all things
Bridgerton time.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad shows are coming back. Because the way I've been spending money outside, I need to sit my butt in the house and stream and watch TV.
Just in time for summer.
So
I don't need to
just in
spend
time,
another dollar.
Bridgerton, come on. I would be in the house saving money versus spending it. So I'm here for it. In the hot scenes, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's do it. But thanks for coming again.
Thank you
Media
for
Friends.
having
Enjoy
me.
it always.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Love you,
And we gave you a fab today for your outfit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I didn't expect anything less.
He's like, it better be.
You see what I'm saying? See, I was trying to be nice.
Jacqueline, take it away.
All right, guys. Well,